How to build a transmission on a two-wheel drive Traxxas Stampede, Bandit, Rustler, or Slash RC vehicles. First up, the differential gearing. We're going to take these four little metal bars, they are all the same size, and put them into the four holes inside the differential housing. And as you can see inside, there are two bars where the plastic is higher on each of them. You're going to want to put the first two gears in on the lower ones, so they sit lower. Just like that. And then the next two gears will go in and they sit higher. And there you go. That's the first step. You'll take this gearing, and it doesn't really matter which one, they're both the same thing. And you'll slide it down in there. Then you have to find the little pin that fits in the middle circular deal there. Right there in the hole. And add the next piece. And when you turn these, you want to make sure they all spin. Differential lube, Traxxas. You don't want to fill this up too much, but you want a decent amount in there. I started running out on this. I probably could have put a little more in than I did, but it'll get the job done. You see what I'm pointing at here? There's a little notch on the side, and it should line up with the notch on the other part, and then it should just snap into place as you push it down. Just like that. Make sure it's all flat, then you just add the four little screws, screw it together. You don't want to tighten one before the others, you kind of want to do them all at the same time. That way it all stays even. Make sure everything spins freely and easily, and make sure it spins the opposite direction. And on to the easy part. This is where all the bearings and stuff come into play. So first put in all the bearings, find all the spots a bearing could fit, and just do them first on both sides. Now you can start adding the gearing. So you can throw the differential gear in first. Then there's a little metal bar you can put, and it goes right there in that little slot. You can go ahead and put a washer on that after you fill in this gear with these two bearings. There we go, that goes on there just like that. Then goes the gear with the two bearings in it. Make sure they're all pushed down. Now the gear with the bar on it. Put a washer on the bottom side, and you can slide that through the bearing. Make sure they all spin together easily and freely. And Traxxas grease. I think it's like white silicone grease or something like that. But you just need to light coat this. You don't need to add too much or go overboard with it. Just make sure everything's lightly coated. After you coat this one differential gear here, it should all just spin together. And then that's how you should lube up everything else. Just like this. And as you can see, everything's lightly coated. Then comes time to connect the cases and put it all together. And as you can see, there's one screw that's smaller than all the other screws. The others are all the same except this one, and it goes right here on the very end by the differential. Everything else is all the same except for the two bottom holes you can see in the video. That's for if you have a wheelie bar. So your wheelie bar screws would go through that. If not, you'll use those screws on those two holes there if you don't have a wheelie bar. You'll just use your wheelie bar screws there. Then cover it all up with the electrical tape because there's a little hole in the bottom there. And I actually like to also add another piece of electrical tape that goes all the way up the back. Just a little extra precaution. And that's it. So hope this helped, and hope you build your own transmission for your Traxxas Stampede.